What is up, SmackNPie here, and welcome back to another Dark Deception video. Today we are going all in, as I've made this series like this in the past for other games as well. So we're talking about the ending of Chapter 4, how will it end, what will be the consequences, and setup for the finale, Chapter 5. Also quickly we'll take a peek at two games, one at new FNAF teasers, and a huge, and I mean huge, announcement from Scott Cawthon himself about the future of Five Nights at Freddy's as a whole franchise, as well as Little Nightmares 2 small information. So yeah, this video is packed. Now, without wasting any more time, let's begin. We will start with the small news, Little Nightmares 2, a second entry in Little Nightmares franchise. We made a video on it just recently. I talked about it from every perspective so far, so I would advise you to check it out. On their official Twitter account, they posted new information about one said monster or character that we talked about in previous videos, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is Hunter. They said on Twitter, quote, "He looks cumbersome, doesn't he? Don't let your guard down. His shack is full of careless trophies." We all know what cumbersome means, but if you don't, it means someone who's difficult, complex to understand, basically who has weight both physically and metaphorically. In the new teaser we can see the hunter with his gun and a flashlight and a caption that says, "The hunter seems to work alone, stalking at the wilderness with a rusty shotgun and a lantern-style flashlight. His motives are unknown, but he does appear to have an interest in taxidermy." Whoa, okay. So we knew he stays usually dark, alone, and in wilderness as seen from the trailer, but it is also confirmed that he has interest in taxidermy. But we know they're not talking about animals, hence this may connect directly with the first game, where everyone was wearing fake masks to hide their true colors and true face. Humans taxidermy to me is one of the worst concepts known to mankind, unless of course it's done for the right purpose, which, well, let's be honest here, who does these sort of stuff for good? We have no doubt what he would do now to Mono and Six once he captures them, and trust me, we don't want to know, because this game can actually go there. But yeah, expect to see some more monsters and their descriptions as we progress to the big launch of the game. Now we know FNAF always comes back. It is a motto of William Springtrap, and now Scott Cawthon is proving that he is Springtrap. No, he's not, but he does come back every time, and he does bring back FNAF all the time. Anyways, we know 2020 is packed with FNAF projects. FNAF AR is one of the successful AR projects to the date. FNAF VR just gave FNAF a reboot it needed. Such an amazing game, by the way. I've been playing known VR mode lately, and I can assure you, this game is so much scary. Well, it can't beat the first game, but it is definitely more scarier than the first 6 to 7 games that you've experienced thus far. The VR version is even more terrifying. And recently, new book series FAZBEAR FRIGHTS that goes deeply into the FNAF universe, of course, William's story and other animatronics and how they work. But Scott Cawthon didn't stop there. So there are a couple of announcements he made regarding future of Five Nights at Freddy's, as well as a book series, and most importantly, the story of Five Nights at Freddy's as a whole. On Reddit, he said, and I quote, "I've enjoyed the memes roasting me about the plotline lately, but it does have a serious underlying concern from many in the community, and I hear you. The question is this: is the lore solvable? Since that's kind of like asking, is the story complete in an ongoing story? It is difficult to understand. So let me say this instead. Over the next few years, there are a lot of projects planned, and most are story driven. Lots of later stories will answer some of the biggest questions from the FNAF fan base over the past year, in my opinion. Very few people will likely ever feel completely satisfied, as there are just too many headcanons out there and so many great ideas on where the story could go. But I think there are good things to be found for people who are looking. All I can do is say that some questions will be answered, even if it may not always be the answer you wanted. Be patient. Let me at least say this: future games will look forward, but look to the novels to fill in some of the blanks to the past. Everyone in the community has been really great, and I'm working hard to bring you some great things in 2020 and beyond." And yes, it is confirmed that he was talking about FAZBEAR FRIGHTS when he said novels to fill in the blanks of the past. Anyways, massive announcement. Let's break it down. Number 1, there will be a bunch of projects over the next few years. We thought this year will be FNAF and that's it, but no, he's going there. Not just this year, but the year afterwards, and after that as well. Especially since his Steel Wool Studios and Illumix are now on his trusty side, I do feel like he's got people who can make projects he wants as fast as possible now. And we as fans can get more projects left and right. There's FNAF 9, FNAF VR 2 maybe, movie, hopefully not cancelled, entire book series that'll explain the lore in some way, Freddy in Space 3, hopefully, and many more. I do hope that we get mainline story games that explains and expand main universe and main lore of the game into much more bigger. I know he just said that in Reddit post. I never asked or wanted big FNAF AAA style game, but if that's something he wants to do or feel like it's the right thing to do, I'm here to accept it and support it. Also, since there aren't many Dark Deception news, I may cover this franchise as a main game for now, until we get the new information, of course. Number 2, main lore story questions will get answered, which was a pain in many people's butts. He said that future games will look forward, means that they will likely create more questions, but he also said that if you want previous questions answered, use novel series, aka FAZBEAR FRIGHTS, as your main source. Books and novels aren't totally or completely canon, but they are in some way. However, it seems Scott wants everything from here to be canon, which is a great thing and great way to move forward, and I'm super excited. Also, I'll cover FAZBEAR FRIGHTS Into the Pit soon, so watch out for that. And number 3, and finally, the way he answered the question of is lore solvable, I think the lore will never be solvable, but it will give fans enough material to make up their own stories. Hence, it'll be, quote, interpret it as you wish and desire, it'll work. Which, don't worry, is not the case for now, but I feel like that's how it's always been, and that's how it'll always be, which is not a bad thing, trust me. But yeah, what's your reaction to this new big announcement? All I'm saying is, I'm so pumped for this and next year's FNAF content. Alright, so this new teaser was available on scottgames.com, and the file name of this teaser says, Into My Eyes. This teaser is for the second entry in FAZBEAR FRIGHTS novel series, aka second book, called Fetch. And I'm so into these stories. This character's name is Alec, and the second story will focus on, quote, Alec launches a master plot to expose his golden sister for the spoiled brat he knows she is. Yeah, there's a lot going on here that I can't directly talk about, but these stories are happening in FNAF's universe, and we are meant to take away things from this so that it'll help us piecing together the story of Five Nights at Freddy's from games. Like, listen, at this point, games, books, FNAF universe is so much more expanded now. Also, we have this mini Freddy, he does look like one from Sister Location, but the color suggests that even though it may be from that time, this one is different, but in the same timeline, at least in the books. The little doll on the ground focuses on Golden Sister. Golden Freddy? No, okay, no, I'm just messing at this point. But yeah, siblings will play a role, and most importantly, her sister will play a big role in this story. Also, this character, who doesn't seem to be a very small kid, is getting hypnotized, and by whom, we'll get to that in just a second. But this is interesting because, as another teaser from the past suggested, that FNAF will now focus not only on kids, but adults as well. Something that I've been wanting FNAF to do for a very long time. William is still playing the main villain role here, don't worry, but this is mini Freddy, who will have some sort of relationship with Alec's small sister, and this whole story will pan out around these. I know it doesn't make sense now, but it will do once I make Into the Pit videos. Dark Deception needs to make a few of these books as well. Bendy and the Ink Machine franchise did. Why can't Dark Deception? I know it's expensive, but hey, we Dark Deception fans deserve book series as well, especially YouTubers, us. So it's time for the moment you've all been waiting for, Dark Deception Chapter 4 Theory. Now we know for a fact that this chapter will have much more expansion in Dark Deception universe. From this teaser of Bridge and Police alone, we can derive so many theories that points towards a lot of cutscenes in Chapter 4, as well as a lot of flashbacks, or past memories at the very least. Chapter 3 helped us in getting that a bit, but Chapter 4 may open the door to many of them. Now I'm personally betting on the fact that we may get to see, hear, or at the very least get a hint of Tammy Hauser in Chapter 4, like planting little seeds for her arrival in Chapter 5. Maybe even Mother might show up. It's unlikely that they'll physically show up post-accident, but there's a chance of them being in the game one way or another in Chapter 4 to set up Chapter 5, which again is the finale. Now Chapter 4's final level is Mama Bear and Trigger Teddy. What's better way of setting a finale of a mother and a daughter than beating up a mother and her child's level to get to a mother and a daughter? That definitely sounds like Doug Hauser. I'm predicting for now that in between these levels, we'll get small flashbacks, maybe small visuals of Tammy Hauser. This teaser right here is what Chapter 5 will focus around, because the story is focusing around this. So expect to see some visuals in between, and finally, before getting back to Beers and after finishing the level, there could be a small intermission and an intriguing interaction with either Tammy, her mother, or Malak. Why Malak? Because he's supposed to enter the ballroom in one of the levels. That's scary and creepy. He will learn what exactly is Doug's weakness, and that's her daughter, and he'll use her to get to him. Maybe give him an offer of something, but that won't happen until Chapter 5. He may hint towards when the time is right, do the right thing, or whatever, but real deal will happen in Chapter 5. That means we have to look for foreshadowings, texts, and us ranking all levels to learn more from Beers herself as to how Doug and Beers met. Surely she must have had a diary for that. Now all these are rumors and speculations, but that doesn't rule out the possibility of Tammy being in actual one of the levels, albeit after 10 levels. And then you have Tammy's mother defending her, making sure Doug doesn't get his hands on Tammy, and 11th portal would be Tammy's mother. I can't believe I'm saying this. You would have to be Tammy's mother, and after that you get to Tammy. You ask for forgiveness, she gives you that, but then she disappears and you die because you got your wish and you're no longer needed here anymore, and that's how Dark Deception ends. And we move on to the sequel of the story. Pretty lame theory, I know, but it's all we have for the time being. Make sure to let me know if any of your theory brains get anything. I would love to read your theories, as always, down in those comments below. So make sure to subscribe with notifications on. Help this channel to get to 25,000 subscribers. And I'll see you next time. So take care and peace.